Everybody wants to know what a half pat is. Half pat. A lot of my words have been taken and stolen, all of my quotes. So I want to fully document this one. Half pat. Okay. A half pat is someone that travels, and just travels, period, okay? To the favorite destination that they love. Half pat is someone travels 2 to 3 times to the same place, or someone that travels frequently but always returns home. Has their job at home? Has their life still at home? A friend of mine told me he comes down 3 to 2 times a month, which is a lot. But he comes to Sosua 3 or 2 times. I want to be accurate when I say this because he's a good friend of mine, and a lot of people don't want to come on camera, but half pat. Me myself, I come down, I would say every 5 to 6 weeks. Very expensive, my friends. I can withstand, like I am living in 2 countries. Basically, I live in 2 countries. I sustain most of my living, my income, earnings in New York City, tri-state. Like I said, I have several of my own companies, which basically they are my companies with the buying and selling of things. And to tell you the truth, this company just recently started because a lot of people started asking me about all the cassettes I sell and vinyl records that I sell and sneakers that I sell. Now listen, I'm not gonna lie. Large majority of my sneakers were just just reckless spending through the years, but it ended up being very lucrative for me because I have some rare kicks. But through the years, I've learned that people just, would hit me, meeting people in the thrift stores, and then they would hit me saying, you go out a lot, so I'm looking for this particular thing. If you can find it, give you $100, give you $60. And in Long Island, it's just a thrifting gold mine. You go there 2-3 minutes late, it's just packed. But half pat lifestyle, I would say you're constantly going back and forth. You have 2 residents, 3 residents. I know a gentleman that has a residence in San Domingo, has a residence in Sosua. And I think, to me, half pats tend to have a little bit more money because they're still working in the States or still working wherever they live. I ran into a European that travels quite frequently to Sosua, and we all know why we're traveling. So this is just T.M.I's explanation of a half pat. Half pat to me, though, I think we're a little more focused because our time isn't as long. Like if you spend 5 weeks in the Dominican Republic, I won't say so. I just say it's in Dominican Republic. You say it's 5 weeks in Dominican Republic. That's a lot of spending because you're going out, you're going to bars, you're going visit family members. I would say my number one thing that I spend money on is hotels. 2, I would say, is the eating and the drinking because we know I got the big belly. Big belly. A big belly. Remember the Houdini song, Big Mouth? Anyway, the eating, and then, the legalities of the hunting, of the nightlife of the patrons of the opposite sex. It's a good time, and I ask a lot of half pats. Why? Because that's why I am here at New Garden. Tell you the truth, to talk to different people, especially when it's filled up, sold out. Every room is occupied. Try to investigate. I try to ask people why do you come here? How do you come here? How are you able to come here? A lot of people don't want to be on camera. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people, just an escape. But sometimes a long escape, especially if they can work from their computer. And a lot of people aren't blessed with that. Like, a lot of people are truck drivers. A lot of people are radiologists. You know what I'm saying? But I guess, from being at their job so long, I had a corporate job, right? Where I was 13 years in. And I really didn't talk about this too much, but I had a corporate job, 13 years in. I had about 6.5 weeks of personal time. PTO, it was called. But that was include everything from sick, vacation, and personal time off, right? Because I had another job, the job I talked about when I was pushing carts, and that was separate. The vacation time and the paid time off was separate. But every holiday, every now and then, the big holiday would be separate. So you'd have like Christmas, day before Thanksgiving off. Or was it the day after? The day after, I'm sorry. There's about 4 holidays that you had off, right? So you include those in with the vacation, you add on the days. But I'm thinking back now, like those 6.5 weeks. In another couple more years, I would have been, I think, at max as far as PTO time. So I think that would have been like if I'd have stayed there, I think I'd have had like 7.5. If I did 20 years there, the maxed out I think was like 7.5 years. And I think they require not require. That's but I think after the 4 holidays, I think you had like maybe 4 other days. I can't remember the name. But anyway, would I be able to come to Sosua like that? 7. I'm sorry. If I did the 20 years, 7.5 weeks. And yeah, I think so. 2 weeks here, 2 weeks there, 2, 4, 6. I think so, like 3 trips, 2 weeks. It's right in there. But, you guys got to do what you got to do. But the half-pat life, a lot of half-pats got multiple houses. I met one gentleman who has a house in Cabarete, house in Sosua, house in Puerto Plata. Like, okay, you rich. Got Airbnbs, like, well, just one of them I rent out, but I just, let my cousins and them stay there. And that'll probably be me. Like me and Philly Dom, we're going to work on something. Shout out to Philly Dom. You know what I'm saying? He definitely helped me in troubled times. The dark ages. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Let people stay there that I know. Just, give me $150, stay there for like a week or whatever. But yeah, the one person I met that inspired me the most is kind of similar to me, but he's not a YouTuber. But he goes back and forth to New York constantly. I think the longest I've stayed away since 2015 was 6 months. And I think the shortest time I've stayed away was 2 weeks. And that was when I was doing a deal with my apartment in Santiago. Like, it just fell in my lap. I was literally checking it out the day before I had to get on the plane. My flight was at 6:30. And I went to go, I was 6:30 p.m. and I was checking it out like around 9:30 a.m. So literally I was like, this is it. Like, as soon as I walked in there, I was like, I fell in love with it. When I get my channel back, y'all can check it out. I'm gonna do another review. I just gotta get cleaned up. I'm a pig. But I met this one gentleman that was very similar to me. Comes about, I'm good for about every 6 weeks. I can't stay away any longer than 6 weeks. But the half-pat lifestyle is suiting me because I want to travel more to different places. But I know how I get caught up with them. I get caught up with the ladies, the beautiful women of the world. But yeah, sometimes dudes don't, you know what it is? It's not financial with some dudes. Like, they just have the money to do those things. When I get everything situated, baby, I'm going to be back larger than ever. And I'll tell you guys something. I constantly check for apartments and condos and whatever. I saw one spot in Cabarete. I was just like, I'm just stuck on 5 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms. I don't know why. I'm just stuck. But pool, I'm not the biggest pool guy anymore. When I was younger, I loved pools. But every half pat that I know, you cannot be broke being a half pat. And some expats are gonna take offense to this. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of half pats, I mean, if you're traveling this frequently, going through TSA and all the BS that comes with the traveling, the bags and the waiting on the lines and the landing but I stay in a hotel to stay close to my brothers, to help people, to keep my energy fresh, I would say, still have that newbie feeling, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people think when newbies make mistakes that every mistake is a newbie. Like, you make a mistake, you're acting like a newbie. And that's just not true. I done seen some newbies go strong. I mean, there's a dude I met literally like 7 months ago. He's got a crib that he rents out. I'm sorry, a house that he rents out. And he's building another house that's finished. I was like, this is incredible. Having money is a lot better experience trip. Like I told you, I took a hit, baby, and I'm coming back. I'm fighting back, ducking, bobbing, and weaving. But this one gentleman I met from Chicago, good dude. I mean, I was like, this ain't a newbie move. I mean, you a newbie, but still, look at all the stuff that you've done. I mean, you just didn't sit back and go to Envy every night. I mean, you were making moves. Some dudes just come out here and just kick it and make moves, and I applaud that. But a half pat is someone that lives in both countries, travels frequently, multiple houses, and you could be a half pat that just stay in a one bedroom somewhere in Samaná, La Vega. Come down frequently. I don't mean to be, you can only be a half pat and live in Sosua or live in Puerto Plata or even live in Dominican Republic for that matter. You can live in Cartagena. I'm not going to ever talk about a place and I've never been to the place. I'm not going to talk about Cartagena because I've never been to Cartagena. I'm not going to talk about Pattaya, Patau, Fiji Islands, Cascadaway. I'm not going to talk about these places. I haven't been to those places. But half pat. That's mine. I came up with it. I got to start stamp marking, wet marking, whatever those things are called, my sayings, because they get stolen. Shout out to everybody, though. But half pat is what I am, brother. Been here almost a little under 3 weeks this trip. Little under, little over. Rented a car as usual. And just living my life. But the half pass that I told you guys about, I mean, even my landlords in my Puerto Plata apartment, they come down for a month and a half every year over the summertime. A whole month and a half. They live in the Bronx. There are multiple residences in Puerto Plata. They Dominican, obviously. And another thing, I would try to study. I'm thinking about showing my contract, which I left in my apartment. But I'm going to show my actual contract just to educate some of you guys on the apartments. Some apartments come with furniture. Some apartments come without furniture. I prefer to put my own furniture in. That's just me. I go to the place called Hawaii on that's basically how you pronounce it, like the island, Hawaii. It's on the main road. I got to get the name of the road. I'm playing myself, but it's the main road in Santiago. And I go into it sounds funny, but I go into the used furniture section. Not used, it's a little damaged, but it's breakfast time. But that's pretty much it. But a half pat is someone that travels quite frequently. Travels to New York or wherever, Dallas, Texas, whatever. Stays for 2 weeks, comes right back down for 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. And listen, you're gonna acquire all types of knowledge the longer you stay. And like I said, a lot of guys don't necessarily work from their computers. A lot of guys, I met this other dude, he was a sports science physician, whatever. I guess he works with the bones for some sports team. He really didn't say. But I'm like, bro, every time I see you, because he looks at me like, you're rich. And I'm like, I'm not rich. He's like, every time I've been down here, you down here. And I'm like, yeah, I know, bro. And a lot of people will say that. A lot of people will say that, you know. But you know what? Another thing about half-pat lifestyles, we live our lifestyles out of the hotel, out of the apartment. You know what I mean? Unless you're working from your computer, but all the half-pats I see are in the streets, walking by, going to Bailey's, going to Rumbas, going to the casino at night, and a lot of other places. There's places in Cabarete I don't know about. There's places still that I don't know. I was going to go to Lavedo last night, but I was just too tired. I had to drive back to Puerto Plata from Santiago. But I have patted someone that travels quite frequently to both countries, that lives in both countries, that travels multiple times. I wish I could get the gentleman on camera that told me he travels to Sosua 3 times a week. He only stays 2 or 3 days, but he travels 3 times a week. And my boy, he comes down quite frequently, works for the airline. He's never more than like 4 days. Has this particular lady friend. You know, I'm trying to talk nice. But everybody enjoy their day. This is the T.M.I short break segment. Have a lovely, charmed day.